Hi, welcome back to Quinwa Pa Creations tutorial videos. Today I'm going to do a pair of beaded turtle earrings. I use size 13 beading needles, size 0 Nymo nylon beading thread, and size 13 Charlotte cut seed beads. I have brain tan leather and just some regular cotton balls for the padding on the back of the shell of the turtle. To get started, I start with the single line that goes down the middle, the back of the turtle. It's just 6 beads. To start, I go through the 2 center beads and tack that down, kind of snug, secure. That will be the base foundation for the start of the back of the turtle shell. Next, I'll go around that with the same solid color. Enough beads to go around that, and then connect it up. With the sewing needle, I start the 2 needle method now to go around that with that first row, sewing it all the way around and then connecting it to the first 2 beads that I put on. And that starts that center part. And then we're going to do the 7 triangles. If you use a different size bead, you'll have to add on however many. Might have to use more than 6 beads to begin with. So we're going to start and focus on that triangle design. We'll put 7 of the 3 beads, and then in between 1 bead of the color that you chose. And then you'll just connect that first row around. Concentrate on that, getting those 7 to fit around that base. And you're gonna kind of pull it tight, and it may already start the curl when you're doing the back of the turtle shell. It's kind of gonna pull and curl on its own, and you're just going to focus on the triangle, matching up those triangles. So the second row will be either 2 or 3 beads, whichever it takes to get from one triangle to the other. And then you'll just sew that down. Keeping the triangle lined up. And then when you do that and keep this triangles lined up, then it's gonna start curling on its own. That next row will be your next color, and you will either use either 4 or 5 beads to get you from triangle to triangle. And as you're sewing that, it should start curling even more, because you're not putting on beads to lie it flat. You're putting on beads to just match those triangles up, and it will just curl itself in when you pull the tension of the bead string. We're gonna line them up and pull that tension tighter. As you work around, and it'll start curling up all on its own. You can see matching up the triangle. And being sure that it's matching up those ends, and then you're gonna pull it tight, and then you'll see that it's curling up and rolling in. And then the final row is that solid color, same as the base rows that you did. And when you do that, you're going to match up the amount of beads that are on that bottom row. You're not going to just put the beads on there to lay flat. You want it to be like it's the bottom row of that shell, so you're kind of sewing it under that row and matching the beads to the row before. So you're just basically putting a row underneath on that turtle shell. You'll be able to see how it's working. You don't want it to go flat. You want it to continue that curl. And it would just continue that solid line all the way around, and it creates that turtle shell. You tie off the sewing needle, and then you'll just have the beading needle to work the rest of the legs and tail and head. So you'll come up where you want to start. Doing those legs and head. The legs are just 4 beads, 2 rows of 4 beads. Tail is 3 and 2. And the head is 4, 2 rows of 5, 4 and 2. So you just kind of have to eyeball where you want it to go. And you start the head with putting 4 beads right up snug to the solid row that you have on there. And just tacking those down into place. And again, I just went through the 2 center beads and back down through the leather to tack that row down. And then just 2 rows of 5 that are gonna go to start creating that head. And the eyes are gonna be placed on that row of 4 beads. So there'll be 1 dark, 2 solid, and 1 dark, and that creates the eyes on the head. And then you'll finish the head off with just the 2 beads. And that's, I will kind of sew over a couple rows. And instead of tying knots when I'm finished with the head or the legs, I go back through that solid line row of beads, thread my beading needle through that to where I want to put the next leg or tail. I get where I want, I go down and I come back up where I want the leg. And I just put on those 4 beads and tack it down. And the legs are 2 rows of 4. Going through the 2 center and tack it down. Then I go through the solid row over to where I want the next leg to be. And then just continue on all the way around doing those legs and tail around back up to the head. Just tacking them down snug to the shell of the body. The less knots you have to deal with, the less chance it is that they'll come loose later. So that's why I go back through and feed my beading needle through that bottom row of the shell. And that is how you do the beadwork on the body of the turtle earring. Just kind of shaping it the way you want it. The cotton's going to go up inside that body when you put the backing on. So that is how you do the beadwork on my beaded turtle earrings. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this part 1 video of my beaded turtle earrings. I will be making another video to put the backing on the pair. Plus stop by and join my group. Please answer all 3 questions or you won't be added. Or you can go to my website www.quinwapawcreations.com. Stay tuned for part 2 and thanks for stopping by. See you next time.